to say this before we start. I love the Instagram clips that you're doing, so keep doing that.
They're cool, eh?
That's cool.
So I was
And
testing stuff out through the two programs. So
yeah,
not only was well, first of all, I jumped into our Riverside because I was like, okay, I know that they do those smart clips. I want to see what's different, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
Um, and I wanted to make note. I didn't remember when I've done this, but there's been a few times where we're recording, and I don't know if you see it on your side, but I can mark a clip.
oh, I don't know. I've never tried.
So I did it last episode
Okay.
because we were talking about something
Oh yeah, I see it there. Okay.
and I marked it.
Okay.
So now what I'm curious of is Riverside going to export a clip
Okay.
at the mark?
Oh, we'll find out.
So that's something I wanted to keep track of.
Yeah.
But I jumped in here because I was like, let's see what it's been doing, how it's changed.
Yeah.
And
No.
it's awesome. And I even then, well, I was telling you off air that I threw together a YouTube video
Yeah.
and I ran it through my personal Riverside.
Okay.
And then I also ran it through CapCut. No, I actually did run it through CapCut for our stuff. I've been
Yeah.
testing a few things
Okay.
to see what I'm liking.
Yeah.
But I ran it through an AI called Opus Clip.
Okay.
Um, both seem pretty good.
Okay.
Um, but Riverside
They just seem to have
it's
the platform. It's
it's dang good.
pretty darn good. And I have not done what I said, which is reach out to them yet. I will do that. Maybe I'll send that over the weekend just to see.
Yeah, that's not
If
as
they can,
urgent.
yeah, but it seems to be working for now. So
But it's all in one spot. And so one of the problems I ran into was um I would take our clip and say I wanted to add captions to it. It didn't have captions, or I wanted to take a little something. I was like, oh, I'll export it, run it through CapCut, add it captions. And then I was like, it's butchering quality.
yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute, I think I can do this in Riverside. And I sure can. And you can go in, you add captions, you add this. It's got everything, all these things.
Yeah, and and I export it and then I put it into Movie Maker because I'm so comfortable in Movie Maker for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Allows, it's a big file, but it allows it to YouTube to compress
I
it
will
down.
say the only weird thing that I think is an odd step is like we have a project and then you have to, it'll make all these clips, but then you have to edit the clip to export it to be able to
Yes,
download it.
yeah, which is a little. It is a little.
It's a little funky step.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, overall, been trying to get a few things out for our.
Yeah, we got to. So, and then I think one of the things is we got to start sharing it over to our stuff.
Yeah.
To have those conversations. And to be honest with you, like we don't say anything on here that is, overly controversial. So I don't think there's any. Doesn't matter what we're talking about out there. Not everybody will agree with us.
No,
And
I
I'll be
think,
honest with you, I don't care whether people
yeah, I
agree
think
with us.
part of this is just whether we say things that are controversial or not, which I don't think we do.
No.
I think it's part of the authenticity of the human, and I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what the goal is of social media. And we don't really want to come off as
No, I agree with you.
fake or
So,
anything that we're not.
yep.
And you meet enough people, you're going to encounter some that don't align with you. And I think that it just happens on a magnified scale because you're meeting.
It's okay for people not to agree with us, though, and
It is, but what?
we've gotten to a point where conversations can't happen in a lot of places, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
If I can't talk to you just because we disagree on something, if I can't
Well,
talk to you,
this grew from you and I being able to have a conversation and disagree. How many
yeah,
times would we sit in the office? I would say something and you'd be like, "No, that's ridiculous."
yeah,
Or you'd say something,
100%.
I'd be like, "I don't think that's true."
Yeah, that part of that is, there's distinct age
For sure.
difference, but that is that gives us perspective, right?
But I
So,
think being able to recognize that, like I said it at the last thing we recorded, I said, I don't pay attention a ton to something,
yeah,
but I think it might change as I get older.
yeah.
Um,
Now he's making fun of me for being old.
no, but what I was going to say
I
is,
get it.
if you talk to 6 people a day, how many of those people are you going to encounter that don't like you? Maybe
Yeah.
a few. But if you post a social media video that gets 300 people,
Yeah.
that's odd. Like you're bound to have people who you don't like. So
Yeah,
anyways, that's
100%.
my way of saying, gonna keep posting
Do it.
our stuff.
Yeah, keep
I
doing it.
think, there's nothing wrong with people not aligning.
No, and the one thing is after today, we can we'll have some material that we can actually, that is current that we can put out there too as well, right? So,
Mhm.
okay, so today we thought we'd talk a little bit about consistency, because it really doesn't get enough
Yeah,
enough conversation about it, I think.
so you first talked about this the other week. We were sitting in my office and you were going over a few video because you were about to do a batch recording of your like Momentum Monday videos.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, every Monday, pretty much like clockwork, your
Yep.
realtors get a topical video.
Yeah. 10
Uh
minutes long, roughly.
yeah, something talking about an aspect of business, mindset.
It's usually a lot of
It
mindset
is quite a bit
stuff.
of mindset because
Yeah.
I think that that stuff ends up driving a lot of it. You had a few video ideas that I was like, those are some pretty good topics.
Yeah. So I write these scripts and they're written in a manner that it's to be delivered, not discussed. This
Right.
subject is one of my delivery subjects, but I think a conversation about it is is going to be interesting because I haven't written the full script on this. I've just got my bullet points on it. So I think, the conversation that we're about to have may actually influence some of my script
Have
when
you
I do
sent
it.
this? Oh, you haven't sent the video for this out.
Consistency has not been sent out yet.
So because I have a few notes here because I was looking through. You sent an email last week and it was about confidence,
Yep.
and to me, they tie together very, very well.
Yeah.
Consistency through reps leads to confidence, and to me, confidence then bleeds through into authority almost.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you have the authority, like you are the authority on whatever you're
You're
doing.
the expert.
You become the expert.
Yep.
But I think it is so tough to stay consistent in
Yeah.
everything in life.
Yeah. And that's because it's boring.
It's because it's boring.
There's no excitement behind it.
Mhm,
There's no drama behind it, and it gets overlooked and not thought about. And it goes to, we in one of our conversations we talked about, the simple task of making your calls if you're in sales.
mhm.
There's no glamour in that.
So, you know who still preaches about like Dustin Woodhouse?
Yeah.
So he's, in the mortgage industry, this guy, Dustin Woodhouse, he wrote a few books.
Yep. Be the better broker, I think it was
Yeah,
named.
the series is called Be the Better
Yep.
Broker, and they essentially catalog his journey in the early 2000s from entering the industry to becoming a titan.
Yeah. At one point, yep.
At one point, he was a titan, one of the top brokers probably in the country. I think it was top 3, and he may have won.
Yep.
Anyways, he had a blog post last week, the week before, and it was like, "Hey, things haven't changed." He goes, "10 at 10. 10 calls at 10 AM.
Yep.
That's it."
And that is because rejection can kill consistency, right? Or lack of productivity can kill consistency. If I'm the guy that's up and I'm doing my 10 at 10 and I do that for 3 months and the business still isn't coming in, that's a different conversation to
Yes.
have than the 3 months building up to that,
Yep.
right? To get it there. Don't worry, you can't hear it. I know the background noise comes out. Don't worry. So, like you can go from you've got to get this mindset that, what,
But can
consist
somebody go for 3 months?
well, so
And if you did this for 3 months, I would be very shocked if your
yeah,
business did not have an upswing.
100%
Just by pure
volume.
yeah, like coincidence,
Yeah.
just like everything, like it
And okay, so we talked about open houses in the last when we got together
yes.
last. And when we talked about open houses, I said, what, doubling down on open
Mhm.
houses. By dumb luck,
My dumb luck, yes.
somebody is going to walk in that door and not have a realtor, not have a clue, and be looking for somebody to at some point that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
That person can lead to a deal, which can lead to a referral, which can lead to but you gotta show up. You gotta consistently be there to meet the people,
yeah.
and you're gonna have days where somebody doesn't show
It's
up,
you're
right?
gonna laugh at this, but the way I think about this is chemical reactions,
Yeah,
and you wanna speed them up, you stir.
okay.
Right? Because 'cause you're having things move around, more chemical reactions, and the way I think of sales is you gotta be encountering people, you gotta be encountering everything,
Yep.
and the only way to do that is to
If you don't get in front of people in some way, shape, or form,
yeah,
in the sales business,
yeah,
listen, in any business where almost somebody will message and say, "Oh, I don't need it in this," but in most businesses,
sure.
you need the to develop consumer. You need to develop, somebody who's going to be interested in what you are
Yeah.
selling,
Well,
promoting, whatever the case
the
may be.
other thing that got mentioned in that blog was it doesn't even have to be a sales call.
No.
He was saying, "You just call some people and check in to see how they're doing."
Yeah.
Like, at a minimum, this is your opportunity to just be a good friend. Be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I haven't chatted with you in a while. How you been?
Yeah.
What's new? What's going on?"
Yeah. And I would argue it, if that's the intention of the phone call that you're making,
Mhm.
for the love of Pete, do not turn it into a sales call. Do not
Unless they
why?
steer it there.
Unless they steer it there.
Sure.
But if you're the one that picks up the phone and says, "Hey, I'm just checking in. Oh, and by the way,"
Yes.
then, you kind of are defeating the purpose of the call.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to always be all sales all the time,
it doesn't. I agree.
right? Like, because then it becomes pushy. But if I'm genuinely want to know, what your kids are doing,
I wanna catch up. I haven't
I
talked to
wanna
you, and
catch up.
I'm seeing it now at my age, 32, people are just busy,
Yep.
right? People are buying businesses, people are starting businesses, people got
Young
young
families.
families that are
Yep.
growing, and
Falling out of bed, breaking their collarbones,
yeah.
right? But that life happens.
Yes, and so I always say if I didn't see my buddies, a few of them at hockey every Sunday, I'd never see them.
Yeah. But okay, so here's the thing. You make that phone call, you have those conversations, and they're just for arguments, you're just catching up.
Yeah,
And in that catch up call, they tell you, we're trying to have another baby.
yeah,
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Check back in a month and see if their house meets what they need.
yeah. "Hey, have
Hey,
you guys started?"
hey, when we chatted last, I never even thought of this, but here, it made me think.
Here's the flip side. It might not even be that. It might be that 3 weeks from now, you get a listing or it's about to hit the market and you go, "Oh, man,
Yeah,
this would be perfect for an upsizer." Somebody who needs that extra bedroom and you go, "Hey,
just
Steve,
just listing a property.
I'm about to list this. Any chance you guys need this at
Yeah,
your house, an extra bedroom or
yeah,
whatever?"
yeah.
Um, and then it's not a call out of the blue anymore.
Oh, look at my perfect example. My mom-in-law lives with us.
Mhm,
If a house came up that had a perfect auxiliary dwelling unit
mhm.
with it in the country, I would pick up the phone and I would say, "Hey, you know what? I know your situation right now, but this just came on the market that is perfect for what you need.
Yeah.
Is there a way that this would work for you? Is this something that you would consider?" The conversation that you have that is just catching up, which has to be genuine.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So don't do it with a purpose of trying to elicit information. Have a genuine conversation about, I want to know about what's going
About
on in
them.
your life. I want to know, I'll share what's going on in my life. You ask me about business, I'll tell you, but I'm not calling for business. I'm calling to have that conversation with you, because I love you. So you have that conversation, and then they all of a sudden think, huh, I wonder if he can help us with our problem. Or I know somebody who's got a problem. It will lead to other things, but it has to be genuine at your level. You cannot, make it into a sales call when it's not a sales call,
Yeah.
even though it is a sales call.
Time and place.
Time and place.
I mean, it's just at that point, you're relationship building.
Yeah.
Um, so consistency, I think, is going to be the biggest thing somebody can work on this year,
100%.
myself included. I'm excited for you to put out this video
Yeah. Once I write the script for
once you write this script.
it.
Um, because the other thing that you touched on it already is it's going to get you to build your day to be boring. And we've talked about this a dozen
Oh, yeah. Build
times.
the boring
You got
business.
to build the boring business. And I had somebody else say this the other week that the the people that are succeeding, they're living in Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yep.
You come in, you do this, you do this, you do this. Maybe on a Tuesday you do something different, and then you go home.
Yep.
And then the next day, you come in, you do this, you do this, you do this. And it's funny because I remember back when I worked in consulting, this is how things were going. We were working on the same project. And I remember being like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. We're doing all the same projects." now I see that you end up, because you specialize,
Yeah.
you get really good at this type of work.
Yep.
And in our world, you have to have outreach, and
Yeah.
you end up getting good at this type of work. And I just laugh because I tried to escape that.
It's funny, yeah, because you dragged yourself back in.
Oh,
Like in my business, for the realtor perspective, you have really 4 things, okay, that you have to work on. Lead generation, which is tied to relationship building. They
hmm,
kind of are
hand in hand.
2, but they're 1.
Hmm.
Contracts
Okay.
and closings.
Yeah, and I realistically, the last two,
These don't happen. Contracts and closings don't happen without consistency in relationship building.
yeah, and it's something that I've started to find too. Is um, I remember hearing it early on. It's like, listen, if you can find the deal, somebody will help you fund it if it's good enough.
Yeah.
Meaning,
Yeah, there's gonna be deals that just can't fund, but
sure,
yeah, yeah, but then
if it makes sense, if you get somebody and you're like, "Ooh, I don't know what to do with this," somebody will
somebody
help.
out there's got a product.
Sure.
Sure.
Or another broker would be like, "Hey, I'll help you out,
Yeah,
whatever, small kickback or whatever the relationship or setup you guys have is." But what I'm getting at is somebody can help you get it to the finish line
yeah,
if there's something to get to the finish line.
yeah.
Like if there's meat on the bones,
So
I mean,
in our world, it's that person that comes to you with the needle in the haystack property. I need this, and this, and you're like, "Oh my, does that even exist?" And then you find it, and you're the guy that finds it, or the
right,
girl that finds it, or the lady, or whatever you wanna say, and you pick up the phone and say, "You're never gonna believe what just come on the market," or, "You're never gonna believe what
found.
I just
Yep.
found. That thing that you said that you've been longing for, I just found it. What are we gonna do here?" All of a sudden now you've got this person, they're like, "I can't believe this person found it." They buy that property. Guess what they're doing?
Yeah.
My realtor is the cat's ass,
Yeah.
and they're going out and doing it, right?
Well, and that just calls back to what I have written down here. It's the consistency of you looking
Yep.
every day for this property. You heard that Ryan, Rick, whatever, somebody needed a property,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you find it. Your confidence is through the roof.
Yep.
Now your buyers are confident in you because you are an authority because you found it, and moving forward, like,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing.
Well, think about this. You're 10 at 10. You do
Yeah.
your 10 at 10 for 30 days. Okay.
So yesterday, I had to reach out to a few of our CBM realtors here, and I just have it to do 3 a day. And I'm 2 weeks behind.
No offense, guys.
But I ended up doing like 7 or 8 yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Well, because you just get the ball rolling,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all
And
of a
it
sudden
becomes
you're
easier.
boom and boom and boom and boom, and you're like, "Well, I just gotta call that. I'm just gonna do one more. Oh, I got a little more time. I'll do one more. I'll do one more." Um, and it's underappreciated. It's like having a workout. Have you ever been like, "Oh, I gotta go work out," and then you're sitting there going like, "I don't wanna do this," and then you've negotiated with yourself to be like, "I'm just gonna do 5 minutes."
In 5 minutes, you get there and you're like, well, I'm here now. I
I
may
mean,
as well do 40.
literally.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's I was laughing to myself later. I was like, "This is exactly like that."
Yeah. But without that consistency, you will never gain the confidence
Yeah.
because the consistency will lead to the business will lead to the confidence. And you take it back and you say, okay, you know what? I did my 10 at 10 for 30 days. I got 2 deals out of that. Now, if I turn my 10 at 10 and keep doing that and it turns into another 2 deals,
Mhm.
now all of a sudden in those 60 days, I've generated 4 deals.
Yeah.
That becomes like eye opening. And you're like, holy crap, this works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And when you start to think about that, when you start to think that how it compounds, because the consistency creates the reward of the contract.
Mhm.
That contract creates the confidence to do more of what you're already doing
'Cause you
that's
see it's
effective because you
working.
see the effect.
Mhm.
Now, in fairness, the the converse reaction can happen where you do something for 3 months and you're like, this didn't generate anything.
I'll
But and I know what you're going to say. Even the blind horse finds water,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're, struggling, don't worry necessarily about the actual struggle because somewhere along the line somebody's gonna find and say to you, I believe in you.
Sure.
I'm going to take a chance on you.
Mhm.
And that dumb luck sometimes falls in. One of my videos, I said, "Fake it till you make it" is one of the dumbest pieces of advice you can ever give because I think that it can trip you up. We say it all the time in real estate. Oh, fake it till you make it when you get your license. Sue and I were debating it last night, and
Interesting. What was her stance on it?
oh, she doesn't. She her and I had completely different perspectives on it. My take on why it's bad is because the damage that it can do versus the reward is it's just not good. Because in our business, if you give bad advice because you're faking it, it could be catastrophic.
Yeah, I think there are
There's places where you can do it.
yes, I think fake it till you make it exists within boundaries,
Yes.
meaning there are conversations that you need to know not to have,
Yep.
or things you need to be aware of that you shouldn't be entertaining or
Yeah.
talking about or looking at or giving anybody sort of advice on.
Yeah.
Like if you were, I don't know, a carpenter and you guys just opened up your business and somebody's like, "Can you build an entire neighborhood for us?" You'd be like,
Or you're a
"Uh,
carpenter and they say, "Can you put the electrical panel in for me?" Yeah, okay, sure. I can
sure,
I
yeah."
the problem is you can Google or YouTube anything to figure out how to do it. It's just whether or not you can do it
Yeah,
right.
I think the fake it till you make it holds true in many instances, just being like, get out there and have the conversations because you know more than most,
Yeah.
but you will encounter moments.
Where you run into that person that knows more than you.
Yeah,
That's the
or
scary part.
that they're asking you for something that
You
could put you in hot water.
Yeah, 100%. So that's a good let's take a break there, but when we come back, let's talk about how that consistency can create trust,
Yeah,
okay?
alright.
Alright.
Are you ready now? You're lifting off the ground. No coming down. Can you feel it all around?
Welcome back
Howdy.
to our conversation about, consistency,
Consistency.
which is ultimately confidence, as well. They kinda go hand in hand,
Yeah,
but
I think one leads to the other.
I do too, and I think that it leads to the next part of this conversation, which is the trust that it builds with between you and the consumer, and it doesn't matter what business you're in.
Mhm.
If we want to go back and talk about our lovely example of our food truck, man, we've got to come up with a name for this thing, our food truck. But it comes back to that food
What
truck.
type of cuisine?
Oh, I don't know. That's the hard part. I've had ideas over the years, and oh yes, I want to do a street food,
I think
just a pure.
sandwiches.
So grilled cheese was always but Gorilla Grilled Cheese is out there, and their grilled cheeses are
Where?
phenomenal. Gorilla Grilled Cheese is a food truck based out of Hamilton, and their
Oh.
grilled cheeses are incredible. They make their own bread.
Oh, that's
Yeah, sourdough. Yeah, it's something special. Um, but they have a pear brie grilled cheese, which is
s
yeah, I could do a million grilled cheese recipes, because I used to do it at home. But trust that you build with doing things and doing it well,
Mhm.
not necessarily perfect, because I think too many people strive for perfection in what they do.
Yeah,
But we have got to get out of this mindset that everything we have to do is perfect. Look at us. We're living examples
yeah,
in this whole thing. We
couple
plugged
of
it.
bumbling idiots.
Yeah, we plugged it in 3 months ago, 4 months ago, spent 3 weeks trying to figure out how to get the damn thing to work before we
Not 3, 4
was
months ago.
was it longer than that? Don't be like that.
Dude,
How long have we been doing this?
we probably started this
In the summer? Spring?
I was gonna argue we're
I
gonna be
well,
approaching a year soon.
wow, okay.
Because
Well
don't
well,
forget we had months of issues first.
yes, and that was the
So,
perfection portion of it and putting out videos that were not necessarily perfect, but they worked for us at the
our stuff
time to
still
where
isn't perfect.
no,
We don't I think if you're waiting for perfection, you're
perfection doesn't exist,
I
and
agree with you.
I think that's a mindset thing, like somebody will always be able to pick apart something that you do,
Yeah.
right? So, like perfection to me is, are you and I happy with what we're doing right now?
Mhm. Are you enjoying it?
Are you enjoying it? Is it still working for us? Is the time worth it? All of those things. Flip that to somebody else's business because this is not part of I mean, this is part of our business, but it's not really part of our business. You flip it to somebody's business and say to them, you know what, the food truck, you've got 5 grilled cheeses on our menu. 4 of them are great, one of them sucks.
Mhm.
If you keep putting out the sucks one on the menu 6 months down the road and you realize that the consumer doesn't want it, but you're ramming it down the consumer's throat. You don't care. You're never taking it off the menu because you're so convinced
Mhm.
that it's perfect. The consumer will lose trust in you. And maybe the food aspect of it's not perfect, but perfect analogy. But at the same time, if you keep putting out content and nobody's calling you for that content, or nobody's recognizing that content, or
Yeah,
you
or
keep
if
putting
you
out,
have a certain style, like on a Thursday, you do some sort of a quiz video or something,
yeah,
but it gets
two
noth
people,
yeah, no feedback, no engagement, but you keep doing it, they'll be like, "Ugh, this guy again?"
yeah,
Like,
or like putting out polls where four people respond. Well, obviously your network isn't responding to
yeah.
polls well, so why keep ramming it down their
Yep.
throat? So there is an element to the consistency is putting out content is consistent, but you are also going to have to build trust and put out content that the consumer will absorb,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're just putting out stuff for you,
Mhm.
you are going down the wrong path, right? Like, you know, and perfect example is you can get lost in social media with just putting out listings or just putting out rate announcements
Mhm.
with no context, no story, no information, nothing with it. One of my biggest, you were talking earlier about bank rate
Mhm.
announcements. A bank rate announcement without context means nothing because the consumer does not understand that the Bank of Canada key overnight lending rate does not necessarily equate to the rate drops
Yeah.
at a institution. So I think that kind of you have to build that trust with accurate information, but also that over time you can adopt and adapt to what is changing around you. Right? We're in a market where everything is, going back to sellers and talking to them and saying, you know what worked when I first priced this house 3 months ago is not working anymore. That price point is not there anymore. You're going to have to adapt and adopt to it. So you have to make sure that, in every aspect of your business right now, regardless of what it is, that you're adaptable, but you also have to be consistent. And, and,
Yeah,
and, and it's the delivery that has to be consistent, not necessarily the messaging. Does that make sense?
yeah, 100%. I actually think that's a really good way to say it because the messaging might change based on what's happening.
Yeah.
And like we're thinking specifically in our industries
Sure.
and it's okay for the message to change.
Yeah.
And I think as we get more information, as things get clearer, it should change.
I think it should too. Yeah.
And it's okay. You just got to keep consistently putting it out there.
Yes.
Um,
But it's like your phone calls.
yeah.
Make your phone calls. You're going to do, you got 100 people in your database. You're going to talk to a person a day every 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to make that touch. At some point, my database will hear from me every 90 days.
Yeah.
What I talk to them about today is probably going to be
Dramatically.
dramatically
Yeah.
different than what I talked to them about 3 months from now,
Yeah.
right? Unless it's a catch-up call, which is a completely different, like
Yep.
we talked about earlier. But I just think that you you know, you have to assess what works so frequently
Hmm.
that you have to have a strategy of how you're going to do it. It goes back to your practices and your processes, right? If if you just keep ramming stuff out thinking that it's going to work and aren't willing to say it's not working,
Hmm.
you're going to be in trouble. But if you consistently go back and reassess what you're doing, and consistency isn't just about what the final product is, it's the assessment of what's working, what's not working,
Yeah, I agree.
right? So,
Are you consistently like deploying, reviewing, changing,
yeah,
deploying, reviewing,
yeah,
changing?
yeah, and I think that if you do that, you're likely to be far more successful than if you are, I've got this plane, I built this plane in January, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden the market goes for a shit. This happened to us 2 years ago. We're talking about, prices that were $200,000 higher in some cases.
Mhm.
Well, if your messaging didn't change at that point to say, you know what? We're looking at now making the houses are becoming more affordable, and you're still talking about something, look at all those luxury properties or whatever the case may
Mhm.
be. And the consumer's now focused on making their life more affordable because of uncertainty or whatever the case may be, then your messaging is off. And the consumer's going to lose trust in what your messaging is because you're always behind and you are essentially chasing the market at that point. So I just think that if we don't adapt and adopt,
Mhm.
you're going to get left behind. And now is not the time for the faint of heart in business.
Yeah. I mean, there are some sobering statistics. I think we touched on them last week. The big one out of the GTA for realtors.
Oh yeah, 70% of them. And I don't believe that that number is completely accurate
Why?
just because there's a lot of stuff done off market. There's
Mm.
people that work for condo corps that they don't report and stuff like that. Like so there is
Right. They're skewed
they're
negatively a
skewed
bit.
negatively a little bit, but even if it's off by 20%
Right, and you say
and you
50%,
said 50% of realtors
which
didn't do it,
I actually think is a
probably, pretty accurate.
yeah.
Or if you include 1 to 2 maybe deals a year, it's probably 60, 65, whatever, and it doesn't have to be an exact science,
Mhm.
but the messaging there
Yeah.
is that
A good vast
if
majority.
you don't treat this like a business and put the work in
Mhm.
consistently, accurately, reassess, you're gonna be in that 0% or 0 deals person, and at that point, as broker of records, principal brokers in your world, you gotta start asking, "Why is this person here? Why are we carrying the costs?" Why? Because again, it goes back to business decisions, and those are those tough business decisions that, you have to have, and I have them all the time. Why am I putting energy and effort into somebody that does 1 deal a year?
Mhm.
And that's not because they're a bad person, that's not because they're, anything other than the fact that they're not doing their job consistently, which means they probably, in most cases, don't even understand how to do their job properly.
Especially with things changing as much.
With his things that change as much, not only does the market change, but legislation
Mhm.
changes, expectations of legislators change, et cetera, et cetera. If that person is getting focused on, right? I look at it this way: 80-20, right? We all
Mhm.
know the 80-20 rule, 20% of it. So in real estate, there's really this kind of formula: the 20% bottom 20 don't do anything. Okay. This is the way brokerages really should be thinking. But bottom 20% aren't doing anything. They should be kind of, they shouldn't get your attention. The top producers, the top 20%, for the most part,
Don't require
they
attention
don't
either.
need a ton of attention. The middle 60 needs all your love. So when you're building, ideas and building, training, it's around that middle 60, right?
That's interesting.
And because listen, my two top producers, unless it's a complex deal or something like that, or there's challenges along the way, they don't need me. They need me to sign documents for them, et cetera, and oversee their contracts and make sure that all that stuff is good. But on the flip side, the bottom people,
Mhm.
when they come to me and say, "Hey, I got this deal. I got a listing." Okay, great. Can you help me? No, that's not like I can't bring you up to speed on 2 years of changes since the last time you did a deal
Mhm.
in 12 hours.
Or, like, come to me with a couple thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, be like, "Hey, here's what I think for plan A and B. What do you think?"
Yeah.
Like, I like you said, you can't devote
No.
I can't drop everything, but I can also steer you in the direction if you come to me within a few ideas.
Yeah. But the middle 60 who do 3, 4, 5 deals a year, who say, "You know what? I want to get to a deal a month."
Mhm.
Oh, like these conversations that you and I are having are about those middle 60. You know, the consistency conversation about, okay, we're going to take you from posting once a week to maybe doing it 3 times a week. And
Mhm.
we're going to change your messaging, from, the market's great to here's how you survive in today's market. Whatever the messaging that you decide to put in there in that place, we're going to cater it to you because I know that if you're doing 5 or 6 right now, but you want to get to 10 or 12, just increasing your consistency, showing up, messaging, branding, whatever the case may be, you do those things consistently for the next 12 months, you're going to get to that level, and it's not going to kill me to get you there because you already understand the basics.
Mhm.
You're just now ramping up your business, right? And you're exponentially going to grow your business by 100% because you're going to actually do the steps and do the
Yeah.
things that you should be doing. Every person in business should be doing this stuff, and it doesn't matter what the business is.
Yep.
You should be able to look at your business and say, okay, I can ramp it up by doing X.
Yeah, and if you're a food truck, you're putting out flyers, you're whatever, like
Yeah, trying different locations,
yeah.
right? Have a, on Monday. So Monday you're downtown St. Catharines on James Street by City Hall. Tuesday you're on Queen Street, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But then Friday you got a floater day all of a sudden. And Friday you're like,
A surprise
oh
location.
yeah, catch me on Facebook. I'm going to tell you where I am
Mhm.
this Friday,
Yeah, that'd be kinda fun
right?
too.
And all of a sudden
Like a
now
pop-up
they're
shop.
chasing you,
Yeah.
right? Or you're exposing yourself to new
Well,
markets.
that would be the interesting one. If you're based in, like, a St. Catharines, you go, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Port Colborne on Friday
Yeah.
from 10 to
I'm
2."
going to, I'm going to be at the market. I'm going to be at the Port Colborne Market Friday morning, and then guess what, folks? I'm not taking the weekend off. I'm going to Saturday. Saturday. I'm going to be in Welland,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be at the farmers market. And you know what? We're going to go into the market that day. And man, this is food truck thing is spiraled. It spirals for me. But all of a sudden, I'm showing up at the food truck, and I'm going into the market, and I'm buying whatever the freshest food is, and I'm going to make you food out of that market
From the
that day.
market there. That would be actually really fun.
Right? It only works in the summer. You got to, so you kind of get
Yeah,
lost in the
but
winter. But realistically, now all of a sudden the consumer's like, "Huh, something different.
we don't know what he's cooking
I
today
don't
with
know
the
what's
menu.
gonna go on. I'm gonna try whatever he's done because he's built the trust in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I love what he puts out. And on Friday, the
That's actually such a good idea. You
3 items."
Saturday's meal is whatever we've picked at the market today.
Right. We tried this a little while ago. Patrick Burke spearheaded it in North End St. Catharines, where there was Thursday night open houses.
Oh, I remember hearing about this. One of your
And
realtors
one
was
of our
talking about
realtors did
this.
it, and it was quite successful. And it kind of fell off.
Mhm,
And guess what happened? It didn't get the consistency it needed to keep doing it,
mhm.
right? The realtor said, "Oh, you're not getting anybody." Give it 3 months,
Right.
right? We've talked about 3 weeks does not make a habit. 3 months
Nope.
makes a habit because you have to commit to something.
Mhm.
So, like, kudos to Pat for trying that because it's outside the box
Yeah.
and it was different thinking. If you get caught in this stagnant of, I'm going to put the food truck here, and my menu is not going to change ever.
'Cause this is
Guess
what
what?
I
This
like.
is what I like, or this is what people have told me they like. And you just now said to yourself, my market's this big
Mhm.
versus saying, let's just take this market and make it this big. And now all of a sudden you're like, huh, where's my next food truck going? Right?
Doubling up locations.
Doubling
Yeah,
up
you
locations,
get a
right?
trailer or
Right?
something.
How many food truck operators end up opening up small restaurants because they get a
Yeah.
following,
Wasn't
right?
that, the one in Port Colborne? Buddha
Smoking Buddha.
Smoking Buddha.
Yeah.
Didn't that start as a food truck? Or did the food truck come after?
I think the food truck came from Smoking Buddha. Smoking Buddha,
Ah,
by the way, shout out to them, one of my favorite restaurants in Niagara.
is that right?
Oh, yeah, I love their food. I don't go there enough because I can't stand the wait because it's so busy.
I
Um,
always thought they were food truck first and then
it could have been, but I thought the location in the old train hall station. I actually nearly put my satellite office in that building. Because we were there having dinner one night and the space became available, and I said to Sue, I said, that'd be a great office. And we just didn't pull the trigger at the time because Port Colborne Market's, up and down a little bit too much for me to have an office there. I got a place there that if it ever came up for rent again, it's 400 square feet. It's tiny, right on the main drag. I would love to put it just like a little drop-in office there.
really?
Yeah, I've eyed it for ages. And if it ever came available, I said that would be a great little drop-in office. But um, Smoking Buddha's food, I had never gone there, and it's been any different than the first time I went in there.
Yeah.
Other than menu
Consistency.
changes, they are so consistent in their food, it doesn't matter. And you go to the market in Port Colborne on Friday morning, and Smoking Buddha's there with their food truck
Yeah.
or a stand and you can get their food, and it tastes exactly the same as the
Well, their
restaurant.
consistency gave you confidence, and now they have the authority.
Got it. That is my go-to in the Southern tier for that type of food. And that's the thing is you once you get the trust, then you can try different things because the consumer will say, "Hey, you know what?
They did this really well.
Yeah, so perfect." Like in real estate, I've said to people for ages, "Get your clients in the video." And I
Mm.
nobody does this. And any other brokerage, if you want to try it, I don't really care. This is one of those information things. How many sellers? Okay, so sellers own a house for 10 years.
Mhm.
They bought it as a young couple. They got married. They had
What's
their
your story? Like,
tell your story. What do you love about living here? And then tell the truth. Why are you moving?
yeah,
Right? You're moving because you need a bigger house, job change, whatever the case may. It doesn't really make a difference. Don't hide it.
yeah,
Promote it. These people raise their family there. They're happy. They're, like you don't do this with divorces, guys, but
sure.
you know, that story, like in my house, sitting downstairs in the fireplace,
Mhm.
watch with the fireplace roaring, watching TV, being part of that group with the family and all of that stuff. That would be my story. The summers in the backyard on the and looking at watching the deer walk through the backyard. That kind of stuff to somebody who's looking for a house would be huge.
Yeah. Well, it lends credence to the whole, like, can you see yourself living there and seeing somebody else
Yeah.
living there, and you're like, "We're like them."
How many real estate videos do you see where the realtor comes out, they talk a little bit about the house, come on in.
Mhm.
Imagine the homeowner walks up and says, "Hey, welcome to my house.
"Welcome to my crib."
Welcome to my crib. Welcome
You do it like an
wel
MTV Cribs thing.
Sure." But, like anything different that you've now because you've built the trust with the consumer, they look at your product and they go, "Wow, that's so different. That is so different. It's so cool. I love what he's doing." There's a lady, I wanna say she's in New Jersey, and she goes in and looks at the house and does her virtual tour from the perspective of a child.
Oh.
Is so cool. Let's see where the hide and seek places are for this house. Where can the kids get into trouble? Where can they have
Uh-huh.
some fun? Where's the hit? Is there a hidden? In the states they got all sorts of quirkiness about stuff, but she literally sells it by pretending that she's a kid
Yeah.
walking through the
Imagine your
house.
kid playing hide and seek in this house. I mean, the memories, the this, the that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of that, that's the avenue that she's taken in her messaging, and people are eating it up. There's another lady, I think she's in Florida. She's either in Florida or Texas, and she walks in and goes, "Look at this shithole." And she, like she calls if she sees something and it's not a good listing, she goes and does it and says, "Now imagine tearing it down and putting your dream house here."
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
she's got some really I
Interesting.
wouldn't necessarily go to that because,
Sure,
you
but
know,
you need something to stand out. I
y
remember seeing a guy in the States who was doing speed walkthroughs. He was like a young kid.
oh, yeah?
He would run through 'em. He'd be like, "Welcome to blah, blah, blah,"
Yeah, yeah.
and he would literally run through the place.
There was another
It was under,
one,
like, 30 seconds.
another luxury guy in the States somewhere who used to, and I don't know if he's still doing it because it got a little costly, but he was doing luxury, so it was a little bit more, kind of affordable. But he would, throw client parties in the house,
In
in
the
the
house.
luxury
Now
house.
imagine throwing your own party here.
Right. Like he has, clients come in, he
Mhm.
caters it. He basically does an agent open house, but turns it into a dinner party or whatever the case may be, murder mystery, whatever you want to do with it. And he brings in his high roller clients and says, "Hey, come spend a night with me in this property, you know,
Check it out.
check it out."
Yeah.
And
Use
and the
it.
and the consumer, and I guess when you get into the luxury, they're not always living in the house. They got 2 or 3 houses,
Yeah, but,
especially.
like, what's a hotel room for a night?
Right.
Put them up
So
somewhere.
so they're doing these kind of things, but
Shows
those
a
people have.
tremendous amount of effort.
Yeah, but it's also already built they've already built the trust with their consumers because those type of things
Yeah.
you can't do without having the
Yeah,
consumer
you can't just
say,
do it on a whim.
right, you can't just show up and go, "What a crap hole this house is," and expect people to not to go, "Oh,
What did you say?
yeah, exactly." So, you ease into whatever it is, and I think that you're just gonna be in a better position. But again, it goes back to the consistency and every aspect of your business, you've gotta show up. And I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be controversial because we were talking about being controversial. Get out of your house. I don't care what your
Mm,
business is. Get out of your house. It's not a business is not meant to be done from home. I don't care what anybody says.
your environment's just
There are conveniences of being at home. I
mhm,
get it. But it doesn't matter whether you've got a full office set up at home,
or
you're
work out of your
working at
car.
your dining room table, or working in your car. I don't care what it is. Get out of your house and start being part of
Oh,
the
I
business.
meant, like, working out of your car might be enough to get you out of the house.
Maybe, maybe. Like I live in my truck. So,
Yep,
um, but I also show up every day at the office.
yep.
Very rarely do I work from home. I talked to a broker record friend of mine the other day. She says, I always work from home. I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
Well, I think it's you have to know yourself
True.
in that instance, and some
True.
people are able to do it, some
Yeah.
people thrive in that. I think some people's situations allow for that,
100%. 100%. I mean,
but I think some people are also scared to admit that it's not working.
oh yeah, 100%. Or they don't know how to function in the environment that they should be going to,
Uh,
right? So I think COVID kind of got us into this mindset that we can do everything from home.
mhm.
Well,
You
try and rec-
can.
try and record a video from home, right? It doesn't work.
I got stomping kids and
Right. Like you
yeah.
can take all the background noise out you want. At some point, your wife is going to yell down the stairs, "Hey, I need this."
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Like now if you've got an environment where, we sold a house years ago where they had an attached garage to a breezeway and it was 3-car wide garage, but upstairs was a giant room.
yeah.
If you've
That's a
got a
different
space
story.
like that and you can build a studio up there and all of that
Mhm.
and you're completely
You're out of
separate,
the house.
you're out of the house.
Yeah,
But you're still, you know,
on site.
yeah, to me, it's an effort and an energy to go to work. And if I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna work while I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to,
Mhm.
just go to work for the sake of going to work.
Well, it's a lot easier at home to be like, "Ah, let me just,"
Yes.
you know? Whereas when you come to the office, you're like, "Oh, man, I gotta get this done, and then I'll get out of here."
Yeah.
You're
I've
like,
put the effort into going.
"Yeah, I'm already
I'm
here.
here. I'm gonna do it,
I
right?
may as well."
Yeah. Like now, are you gonna take breaks throughout the day? Sure. Do you have to go to work for 8 hours a day? No.
No, you
Right?
can get your stuff done in less time,
If
yeah.
you yeah, and if you're going to work, if nothing else, just to do your calls. Right? You're in the office for 9, you have coffee, you figure out who you're gonna call, what you're gonna call.
Mhm,
10 o'clock, you make your 10 calls, you're done by noon, you're out, you're having meetings in the afternoon.
mhm.
Great, but you're
Totally doable.
out. Totally doable. Do it every day,
Yeah.
right? Do it every single day.
Well, it's again, this all, like, harkens back to consistency, and I saw this through, my wife said this the other week because she had started getting back into working out, and she was like, "Man, 20 minutes a day leaves me feeling better than 30 minutes 3 times a week."
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, "Mm."
Okay.
And
Uh,
so it's small, consistent
yep,
was better for her than longer,
yep.
inconsistent.
Takes the waves
It
out of
takes
it,
the
right?
waves out, yeah. It
So,
becomes a steady Eddie type of
steady Eddie.
thing.
And it's true because you get the confidence, you get the trust, and you get the package. Once you start to put it all together, it becomes like a steamroller and you can't stop it,
Yeah.
right? Like you listen, you brought up working out. What's the hardest part of the first when you start working out?
Starting.
Starting,
Yeah.
putting the shoes on, right? And saying, I'm going out and going to go for that 5K walk, which is, step one. Step two is when you do it for 3 weeks and you don't see any weight come off. And then you gotta go back and say, "Okay, why is the weight not coming off? I'm
Mhm.
doing it right." And then you realize that you're eating 5,000 calories a day, only burning 1,000, and you're still 2,000 ahead where you're
Yeah.
supposed to be
Mhm.
because you're not constantly reassessing
Yeah.
your
What
business.
which knob am I tweaking now?
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to it cannot be single planed,
Mhm.
which is what I think people kinda do this,
Mhm.
right? They get out their blinders on,
It's
I'm doing
100%.
it
I
this way.
remember when I was starting out at the one brokerage, that we've talked about
Yep.
before, um, they had sort of like this 100-day game plan set out, and my outlook on it was, if I do A, it will get me to this.
Yep.
Whereas the reality was is they were getting you to do something in order to get a result, but you had to put your own spin on it. It was like consistently make the calls. Don't just say these scripts.
Yep.
The goal of the scripts is to start the conversation, to get you just building an authentic connection,
Yeah.
talking to people about stuff. Um, and so you have to do it and then realize what the goal of it is and tweak it and then
Yeah. It's funny because there's so much of this stuff that when you're looking at your business from the inside out, it's a lot harder than when somebody's looking at it for you.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that a coach brings to your world. A
Yeah.
real coach comes in from the outside and says, "Oh, try this," or
Yeah.
"Try this."
Or like, "How have you been doing this?"
Yeah, like, and when you think about it, use a professional sports analogy, and then we'll wrap it up. Um, eh, you know, hockey coaches, for example, they're coaching the best in the world in the NHL. It's the
The guys
elite,
who know
right?
what they're doing.
The guys who know what they're doing. Do they really need the coach? Yeah, because the coach is the one that looks on the outside and says, "Dummy, you're going down the left side when I wanted you going down the middle
Yeah.
because that
Y
trailer."
you're not seeing
Yeah, right, like, you're seeing the game from where you're sitting. That was what made Gretzky so good. Gretzky would
he saw everything behind
park
the
his
net.
ass behind the net and saw the entire ice.
Yeah.
That was what made one of the things that made his vision was
Uh-huh.
incredible to mix with the other skills that he had. I mean, I would argue that Ovechkin has the same skill, but never got the assists. Was so one single planed in his game, is still single planed in his game.
Yeah.
It's about goals and goals only,
Top of the circle,
right?
fire it in.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, whereas, Gretzky was like, yeah, 8 assists in a game, right? Like, I don't care. We win the game. I got 8 assists, whatever, right?
Yeah,
But he saw it, but the coaches today, they're there and saying, okay, the systems. Sports is no different,
yeah. No,
right?
you're right.
You show up to practice every day, you have somebody critique you,
Mhm.
and then you get the feedback in the next game.
I think the other side of it is, uh, to be able to take that feedback, turn off your brain and do it.
Yeah.
Just shut up and do it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, "Well, why should I?"
Shut up and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Really, that should be a theme that everybody has on their wall. Just shut up and do it.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. That's a great conversation today. This segment went a little longer, so we won't do the second break, but we'll
It's still brought to you by Broderick and Partners.
still brought to you by Broderick and Partners for all your legal needs in Niagara Falls. So we will pick this up next time. Well, another interesting subject, I'm sure, or something will happen that we'll want to talk about. Maybe the world will implode by then.
Or
Who
nothing will
knows?
happen.
Or nothing will
Into
happen.
politics.
Yeah, right. So, all right. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.